This is a video for Algebra 1, Unit 5, Factoring, Lesson 2, Split the Middle Practice. This is the practice problems on the bottom of the Split the Middle notes. I'm going to do numbers 1 and 2 of the 4 practice problems with you. The answers are also on the bottom of the page, and the key is posted on Canvas. All right, with number 1, we have to factor 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. To factor a trinomial, we use the method called split the middle. In order to do split the middle, I take the first term times the last term. 2 times negative 3. That gives me negative 6. I need to find two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 5. Okay, when I think through a list of numbers that might multiply to negative 6, I have negative 1 and 6, negative 2 and 3, negative 6 and 1, and 2 and negative 3. All right, we have to figure out, do any of those add to negative 5? Well, it turns out negative 6 and 1 add to negative 5. Negative 6 plus 1 equals negative 5. So I'm going to split the middle using those two terms. So splitting the middle, I bring down the first term, 2x squared, and I bring down the last term, minus 3. I then fill in the blanks. I split up the negative 5x as negative 6x plus 1x. That's the splitting of the middle. Once I split the middle, I now have 4 terms. So I use a method called grouping. Grouping means I'm going to take and put parentheses around the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. Now I look for a GCF. The GCF between 2x squared and negative 6x is 2x. So I'm going to divide 2x from each term. 2x squared divided by 2x is x. Negative 6x divided by 2x is minus 3. Now I'm going to look at the second group. I have 1x minus 3. Because this term here is a plus, the GCF is going to be positive. The only GCF between 1x and negative 3 is positive 1. So when I divide 1 from everything, I'm left with 1x minus 3. Now we talked in the notes how this is a good place to be at, because notice that what is in the parentheses here is exactly the same. That's your goal. When it's exactly the same, you can go ahead and bring down the numbers from in front and turn 2x plus 1 and x minus 3 into your final factored form. In order to check to see if this is factored correctly, you can use the distributive property. So you could take 2x times x, which is 2x squared, 2x times negative 3 minus 6x plus 1x minus 3. When I collect these like terms in the middle, I'm left with 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. That's what I started with way up high, so I know I did my work correctly. All right, looking at number 2, x squared minus 5x minus 6. Well, you have to remember that there's a little invisible 1 out here in front of the x squared. I need to multiply the 1 and the negative 6 together. That multiplies to negative 6. So I need to find two numbers that, again, multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 5. Well, lucky for us, that's the same two numbers I used before, negative 6 and 1. So I'm going to split the middle using that negative 6 and 1. So I'll have x squared minus 6x plus 1x minus 6. I'm going to go ahead and group now. I have 2 parentheses where I'm now going to look for a GCF. The GCF for the first term is x. So when I divide x out, I'm left with x minus 6. A GCF for the second set is positive 1. When I divide by 1, I'm again left with x minus 6. These are all good things because look, x minus 6 and x minus 6 is the same. But then I can bring down the x and the plus 1 to give me the rest of my factored form. All right, there's number 1 and 2 on the notes practice. Go ahead and try 3 and 4. If you have questions after trying those, looking at the answer key on Canvas, then come on into office hours and ask your instructor for help.